an issue, an impracticable issue that has defied solution. An issue that is a global, national problem, but it has been predicated to a state or local government issue, and that is the issue of al-Majirate. Now, statistics show that there are over 20 million out-of-school children. Definitely, I believe that there are more than that. Now, we have not gone into the details of your commitment with Nigeria, but we want to know specifically. This issue has now been made to be addressed by local government and states. They don't have the resources, they don't have the wherewithal, and for that matter, I don't think they even have the capacity. Sir, what specific approach will you make that is different from what the previous governments have done, which have really either scratched it on the surface or has not made any possible or any apparent impact? That is the question, Your Excellency.
Please, the media should move their microphone to the front of the Vice President because we want to answer the question well seated. No problem? Huh? Yeah, okay. Problem? Is it what?
Hello. Can I have your attention, please?
Please, we need absolute silence, please. We need absolute silence, please.
The Waziri of Kasina has asked me a question on the issue of the Al-Mahiri quake. Yes, it is true. According to UNESCO, we have about 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, and most of them in the north. I believe you don't need magic to resolve this problem. What you need is commitment and investment in education. I want to give you an example of what happened to me. In 1999, when I became vice president, I went to visit my village. I found that the only primary school that was still standing was the one I attended, which was established in 1954. And it had more than 3,000 pupils. More than 3,000. What did I do? I now went to every Angua. We have about 7 Angua in my village. And I built a complete primary school and equipped it and handed it over to the local government. And built a science secondary school and also equipped it and handed it over to the local government. The point is that I don't agree that either our local governments or our states don't have the capacity. I will tell you why. Again, when we were in office, we enacted a compulsory education law, making it compulsory for every child to go to school in Nigeria. And it is the responsibility of the state and local government to ensure that. What did we do? We also imposed education tax on Nigerians. Those of you sitting here are paying education tax, whether you know or you don't know. And this education tax is being distributed to the states and local governments every month. How do we get them to make sure
they utilize those funds to make sure there are enough schools. After all, as most of you know who have read my history, my father went to prison because he refused to send me to school. Now, the village head cannot force you to go to school, the district head cannot force you to go to school, not even the local government. They say there is fundamental human rights, but you can legislate it. Since we legislated compulsory education tax, why would we not legislate compulsory that you must send them to school? So I don't agree that we don't have the capacity, either in terms of manpower or in terms of funding to do it. We have made the funding available. When I was vice president, I summoned all the northern governors here in this Arewa house. I set up a committee under Adamu Bake, Professor Adamu Bake. How can the northern states catch up with their counterparts in the south? And he spent almost 1 year touring the northern states, and so on and so forth. He came with a blueprint. I invited all the northern governors here in this area of our house, and I handed over the blueprint to each governor. Go and implement it. If they had implemented those blueprints, we will not be where we are today. There will not be all this terrorism and so on and so forth. No. So we have what it takes. What perhaps we have lacked was the capacity and also the leadership. Me, I will not be president and sit down and see you do this work. I will not sit down and look at you. I will make you do your work. Not that in anything, I will make you do your work. Finish.
The next one, I want to be selfish and I want to invite the President of the Karim to come forward.
My brother Waziri, you're welcome. My name is Kinta Abdul Karim from Ahmadu Bello University. I have this to ask. The National Biodiversity Action Plan, the Act on the Corruption of Water, the Clean Air Act, the Niger Delta Commission, the Lake Basin Commission, the GGW Commission have everything in common. That is to improve the livelihood of Nigerians. That's the alternative livelihood package. In your speech, you have an agenda of between now and 2030, which is just 8 years. And you know, to achieve a substantive political dialogue, vis-a-vis education, the human interaction, the built environment. I'm glad my brother Namadi is here. We need habitat, housing, wealth, money, security. And for each of these, there are timelines. Short, medium, and long. This Waziri, we want to know that window of timeline that you have, you can achieve this 6-term or 6-plan or 5 NECO, so within 8 years. Thank you very much. And also,
Didn't I already answered that one now?
I have one more question. And also, most of these agencies are not working in consonance with each other. Everybody is working on their own. How do you unite us, please?
There has to be a streamlining. first of all, of these agencies. In fact, one of my policies is to make sure how do we reduce even the number of cases, because there are so many interlapping agencies that have been created by government. So that has to be resolved by realigning these agencies. And then, secondly, when it comes to the issue of funding, where you are very much concerned, I have told you how I intend to use the private sector to get involved in funding some of these projects. Because we don't have the money, I said it. So where are we going to get the money? Right now, if we are talking about housing, there is an oversupply of housing in Abuja. You know why? Simply because there is money laundering. But the oversupply of housing is not housing that caters for the ordinary man, for the poor man. What you can do is to identify those investors in housing. Come. Yeah, you are building houses for medium and high income groups. I want you to build houses for low income, these people who don't have houses. If you build the houses, I will give you tax incentive. I will give you this, I will give you that. They will do it. They will do it. The point is that, well, I hope, pardon me if I'm approaching governance like a businessman. I am a businessman. But governance nowadays is managing business. If you don't know how to manage business, don't get involved in government, because you will be a failure.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I also want to thank for please for time, because we are running out of time. I'll give you 2 minutes, please. And go straight to your question, please.
‘Yan uwana matan Arewa da mazan Arewa. Your Excellency, Jam'iyyar Matan Arewa was founded in 1963 by our mothers who felt the northern woman was being left out. 59 years after, we are still being left out, be it economically, be it socially, be it educationally, be it politically. Your Excellency, you have daughters. Your sons have wives. I think it's high time we, the northern woman, is given a chance. Sai a ce mata muna da matsala, kuma bayan ku maza ku ne matsalan mu. Sai ku ji an ce ai mace tana da rauni, to raunin ba hauka bane, ai muna da hankali. To gaskiya, apologies to those that don't understand Hausa, but this is a brother of ours. He is from the north. He is the son of the soil. He understands what I'm talking about. And I think we have taken enough. Politically, look at Northwest. There's only one legislator, female legislator in Kaduna State. There is none House of Assembly. There is none in Kano. There is not one Assembly. Sokoto, Sebi, Zamfara, Itawa, and even if we can say we are from the Yabude, there is only one, and she's still struggling for her seat. Politically, they will say, well, the form is free. I mean, my sister, the form is free, but at the primaries, that's where you people bring us down. Well, that's the name of them. Now, I don't think there's any chairperson of any political party that is female. Is there? Is there in PDP, sir? I think Mr. Ayu is here.
Time.
Let me finish it.
Time.
Any political party, they will give you woman leader and they say they're finished with the women. That woman leadership should be dissolved. We don't want it anymore. Maybe if we abolish it, maybe one day there will be a female chairperson in the party. We have a lot of our girl child that are uneducated. We have so many problems. We have early child marriages, health-wise. We have women in the local areas, in the rural areas that die while we have so many problems. And you are one of my problems.
Ajarabi, if you want a women problem to be solved, vote PDP. Because we are the only government or administration that have met the very minimum of the Beijing Declaration of 30% women representation. Either in cabinet or in parliament. And in fact, if you vote for me, you will get more. You know why you will get more? Are you with me? Are you with me? You know why you will get more with me? Because I was brought up by my mom. After my father died long time ago. So that's why in my last presentation I said I directed my bank to give 80% of their loan to women. And because of that, we moved out 45,000 families out of poverty. And because of that, we have 90% repayment. 90% repayment by women. They will pay loan. And they will utilize it to improve their family, to send their children to school, and even to support their husbands to marry another one. So, if you want to see the rise of women, vote PDP, vote Atiku.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I want to call Yoruba, please. I'm giving only 1 minute, please.
Your Excellency, my name is Yoruba. My question is, irredentism has taken over the country. We only hear of Yoruba race and Igbo nation. When people are talking about Nigeria, from where I'm sitting, I notice it's only Northerners. I'm talking as a Northerner, not as a pan-Nigerian. It's only Northerners that are talking about Nigeria. People talk about the Igbo nation, the Yoruba race, and so on and so forth. In this context, I've been profiled. I've been denied opportunities of growth in certain parts of the country. I've been maligned. Ethnicity and banditry have been ethnicized. And it has been identified with me. In your presentation, your 20-minute presentation, I didn't hear you talk about how you intend to make me feel a northerner. Top programs of this government, like the rural grazing area, like the NLTP, the National Livestock Transformation Program, and open ranching or open ranching as against open grazing, have not been realized because the government have been susceptible to blackmail. How do you intend to make me feel a Nigerian? To start thinking like a Nigerian? I am thinking as a northerner now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. To be honest, we Northerners always think about Nigeria more than other parts of the country. This is simply because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Yoruba. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Igbo. So that's why they identify themselves as Igbo nation, Yoruba nation, whatever nation they call themselves. But in the North, what are you? You can only identify yourself as a Northerner because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. Yes. Multi-ethnic and multi-religious. When you come to you gave an example of grazing or open grazing. One, I am a manufacturer of livestock feeds, from cattle to poultry. Two, I have more than 1,000 heads of cattle. They have never moved out of one location. So it's simply introducing modern methods of looking after our livestock. No more, no less. I had a very big quarrel with the governor of Oton on his accusation of Fulani, this Fulani, that. Big quarrel with him. I say, I'm Fulani. Why should you categorize all Fulani? And he admitted even his own ethnic group are stealing his own talk. I said, why are you not calling all thieves? They are all thieves also. So, it's just that we have to improve on the way and manner we look after our livestock. They have 1,000 heads of cattle there. They have never moved out. And I'm a manufacturer, as I told you, of livestock, from cattle to chicken to whatever. I manufacture them and I sell. So it's a question of introducing modern ways of how we tender, our livestock. Finish.
Thank you very much. I also want to invite the committee to just 1 minute. Your Excellency, Northerners are watching you now, and in the next few days they will hear or they will see you. Please tell the Northerner why, out of all the presidential candidates, they should trust you and not anybody else with their votes and their trust, and why you are the best candidate that can lead the North and Nigeria through change. Please talk to the Northerner directly.
Well, Malam Northerner. Oh, Madam Northerner. I have been in politics now for 3 decades. I like the appointment for Professor Ango. 35. And I have traversed the whole of this country. Yes, yes, yes. I know the whole of this country. Yes. I have built bridges across this country. I think what the average Northerner needs is somebody who is from the north and who also understands the other parts of Nigeria and who has been able to build bridges across the rest of the country. This is what the Northerner needs. It doesn't need a Yoruba candidate or an Igbo candidate. This is what the Northern needs. So I believe I stand before you as a pan-Nigerian of Northern origin. Thank you very much.
Please. We are out of time. We want to invite our two people to make comments. Then thereafter we have our 2 or 3 questions from the floor, which is very, very important. Then last session we didn't allow anybody from the floor to make a question. But before then, I want to call Chief Agobe. I want to give you 2 minutes. I want to give you 2 minutes, please.
Your Excellency, just 2 questions. How can you help the local government system to perform better? Because right now, most of you will agree the local government system is not working in many states. And number 2, how much longer will the naira continue to die? Your Excellency, we are of the same generation, and we knew the naira was $1.50. Today it is 740 naira to $1. Is there any way of controlling the appetite of Nigerians for irresponsible importation? Because if we don't, this is how the French Revolution happened. Unnecessary devaluation of their currency for too long. Thank you.
How do you and I were foundation members of PDP. You know that in our government, that was not so. You left us, you went to APC. And you brought about the present predicament we are talking about. You know that PDP has the capacity to definitely correct these challenges that have been brought to us by APC. We did it before when we came in 1999. We lifted the economy from virtually from bottom to the top. Nigerians said we didn't know how to do it. I think they said there is a after program where they say when you have 2 wives, you know which one is better. So Nigerians have now tested PDP and APC. Jiki magayi. Yawa. Jiki magayi. So I believe we have the capacity to stabilize the value of the naira. When it started sliding down, I cried and cried. I said, look, it is time we stop this. It is time we merge the parallel markets with the official list. But then, that has not been done. We now have maybe about 4, exchange rates. I've never heard of this. I'm not an economist, but I listen to economists. And every economist that I have listened to has told me that it is wrong. So I believe we have the capacity and we have the experience to merge the exchange rate to a level where international investors will be comfortable to bring in their money, and also Nigerians themselves will be comfortable, will be valued for their currency.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
How do we help the local government system be more efficient? Again, I want to go back. When I was vice president, I used to be in charge of local government. So, and I directed the Ministry of Finance. I said all local government allocations must be transferred straight to the local government. But then the system was going on very well, and the local governments were functional. And then later on, I was overruled and was told that the local government funding must go through the states to a so-called joint account. And from joint account, we don't know where the money went. So I believe it is something that we can also correct. For sure, we can correct it. And the local government can function better. I used to tell some of these local government chairmen, I said, when I was growing up, the people who were running our local government or native authorities system were either grade 3 or grade 2 at most. And yet they ran a local government system that was very, very efficient, very accountable, and we were all educated from local government sources. No oil money before, it was only taxation. My parents were paying poll tax, cattle tax, goat tax, market store tax, radio tax, bicycle tax. This was all the sources. I think those of you, my elders who are here, Waziri, Bauchi, and others. These were the taxes that were the local governments were collecting. There is no allocation at all. So we can reinvent how the local government system can be funded, can be managed, and then we can have the best results from that reorganization. God bless you all.
Please, I want to give tribute to Lady Ayama. Uncle Jane, my name is Sulahama. Waziri and the candidate of the PDP, I would like to follow on the question raised by Baba Yola Tombo. That is to say, the position of a Nigerian and a Nigerian citizen. All these policy programs are aimed at obviously developing the Nigerian citizen and creating something within the context of Nigeria in order to give value and meaning to a Nigerian. Nigerian citizenship is the issue central to Nigerianness. From 1960 to today, Nigerian citizenship has been losing value and respect. It has diminished a position that while the Constitution has guaranteed a Nigerian citizen to move around the country in freedom, safety, and peace, and to live in any part of the country, to pursue his livelihood in any part of the country, in reality, it is not so. It is not only now within the context of Nigerian territory, but even within the international community, Nigerian citizenship is losing its value to the degree that visas are not being given to Nigerians by many countries today. So I'm wondering what the former vice president and candidate would do with his experience to help us show that dignity, that value, that meaning of Nigerian citizenship.
Thank you very much, Malam Sulaiman. Definitely there is need for an administration to look into that. One, I believe the issue of citizenship should be looked into. What do I mean by the issue of citizenship should be looked into it? In other words, there must be, every Nigerian must be given under the law the right of citizenship wherever you may decide to be. What I mean by that, at the 1994 Constitutional Conference, we have made a draft proposition on the issue of residency, where we made it, or we made a provision where a term of residency spanning either 2 years or 3 years will give you, wherever you reside, the right of the citizenship. But it was vehemently opposed, mostly by our southern counterparts, not by even northern. Because I remember our group was then led by the late Yoruba. So there, if you could also recollect, in one of the transitions of President Babangida, in one of his transition laws, there was a provision which made it your right to contest an election once you reside in a locality for 2 years and you are paying your taxes and so on and so forth. But of course it was a transition provision. So the moment that transition, and you know IBB had several transitions, so the moment that transition was over, that law lapsed. So I think, the process of nationhood is a continuous process. Up till now, after more than 200 years old, there are still some parts of the United States who are saying they don't want to be part of these states. So it's a process of nation building. I am optimistic with a reasonably responsible and just leadership that can give every part of this country a sense of belonging. We will achieve, and we can achieve, nationhood. We came in 1999 with the government of national unity. If we had not formed that government of national unity, there wouldn't have been peace and stability, and we wouldn't have been able to govern. I believe, again, we have gone backwards to warrant. That's why I announced, when I announced my candidature, I said, if I win and you vote for me, I will form a government of national unity. Simply because peace, unity, and stability is prerequisite for a purposeful government that can bring about prosperity and unity. So I believe it is achievable and we can achieve it. We should not lose hope on that because some people are negative in their tendencies. We can't stop them from being negative. We're a democracy anyway. So even as of today, there are some people who are agitating for breakup in the United States after 211 years of independence. God bless you all. Thank you.
Your Excellency, we are very grateful. There is one important question somebody sent from the floor. That question has the issue of corruption. He raised that one of the major spots in this country is the issue of corruption. How can you deal with the issue of corruption when you are being elected as president?
Well, the issue of corruption or dealing with corruption is multi-dimensional. But I think I have given some examples before in some of my public speeches and even my experience. When we came into office, we had evidence from the investigative bodies of a list of people who stole money and where the money is being kept. So I walked up to the president and said, Mr. President, you know what? So what? I said, if we say we are going to prosecute all these people, we will spend the next 10 years until we leave office. We will not jail them, we will not get the money. He said, so what do you propose? I said, I propose we set up a panel to call each and every one of them confidentially. And he set up a panel, he made me chairman, made the Attorney General a member, made General South National Security a member. And we started calling them one by one. He said, okay, we have evidence you have stolen so much. This is where the money is. Return the money. We give you 2% or 5%. And within a few months, we collected 2.8 billion US dollars. 2.8 billion US dollars. Since then, no government has been able to recover stolen money. And some of the people that we recovered money have even returned to Nigeria, contested elections, they were in the National Assembly, they are governors and so on and so forth. This is one way you can deal with corruption. Another way you can also deal with corruption is to make sure that the loopholes that allows public officers to be corrupt are blocked. The loopholes that are in our system or in our procedures that allow public officers to steal money. You cannot be sitting down with, let's say, a head of state, and you don't know what their ministers are doing, you don't know what their directors are doing, you don't know what anybody is doing. Not possible.
A leader with
focus.
focus.
Not with Atiku. Maybe with somebody else. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to go on and what to do. Just give me 1 minute, please.
What Tinubu cannot do.
To stand and talk. To stand and talk.
Next year by now, there will still be flood in Abuja and in Jigawa and most part of northern parts of the country. Because we've been warned last time, there will be flood this year. And if nothing is done, there will be the same flood next year. And over 5 million families or persons have been displaced from their residences. And there have been remediations being proposed, like dredging of the river, Asia, Komadugu, Yobe, and so on, to narrow the floodplains to ensure that water is channeled to the child, reduce the flood. I don't know if the government that you are coming to head has a plan for managing the ecology, especially as regards flooding in northern Nigeria. Thank you.
Well, I can assure you we do, because there was also flood in Adamawa. Virtually all parts of northern Nigeria have experienced this flooding. And again, unfortunately, when we came into this administration, we found that there were contracts that were awarded for dredging of River Niger. contracts awarded, paid. Up till today. Now, so I believe that these are projects that are fundamental to the realization of our food security,